said.
What?
It was he said.
What did he say?
You weren't even expected from this man. Go on.
I think there is, to an extent. I think families always want there to be like a model of how they've been raised and how they've been brought up, because they see it as you almost like surrounded with, for example, like Nigerian people, like Nigerians. So usually when they grow up in where they come from, they're surrounded by other Nigerians, so you gravitate towards those people, and it's just natural that you're going to date someone who is from the same culture as you, because you share similar values and you see similar things in that person. So I think there is pressure, like if you try and deviate away from that, it's like kind of strange. Like, why are you going to someone who's not almost like a mirror image of you? So
I do agree, but then I think it's different for guys and girls. For example, when my brothers dated girls that weren't Nigerian, because the girls are taking on their name, it's not a big deal. Whereas for me, it was like, you're the only daughter, they're taking on someone else's name, and it's not Nigerian, blah blah blah. That's how they kind of saw it. But then I didn't really see people, like a lot of women are starting to double barrel their names anyway, so who cares?
I get that's true.
That whole name thing, I'm not bothered.
That's true. I don't know. Like, I think I've got into a lot of arguments at home. Like, oh, why did I have to? Why do you feel like I have to date someone that's from Nigeria in order for you to accept them? In order for you to feel like, oh, this is the kind of person that I want you to bring home, because I can see your sisters in them. I can see myself in them. It's almost like your mum wants to kind of feel like she resonates.
She wants you to marry her.
She feels like she feels like
my friend, she's Ghanaian. Her dad said that he wouldn't want them. He's got 2 girls. He wouldn't want them to bring home, like, let's say, a Nigerian.
Why?
Because she feels like he feels like their culture would be lost, because some cultures are quite dominant. And when you marry into your culture,
it's true.
I think it's expected. We live in London, a multicultural society.
Exactly.
Yeah, your friends can't expect to be like, you marry Nigerian. It's not going to work like that.
Come on.
You're going to meet new people, different people, and it's just naturally going to be attractive.
Exactly. I'm not going to go up to someone.
Come on. Do you know what? I think it's just down to radical traditionalism, like just traditional ways of
Radical traditionalism.
if that's even a word.
Some people
like what Ezekiel said, culture is what it's like the same way we know, like, okay, this is an apple, this is a banana. It's the same way we know we are of this culture and we operate this way. When we say we operate this way, that's tradition. Where if our parents didn't want us to be with anyone else apart from our own, why are we here? Why?
Exactly.
Why? No, big man thing, why are we here? Like, why were we brought up in Nigeria?
If we want a better life.
Cool. But I want, listen, a better life for me might be, a better life for me might be breaking away from what I know.
Yeah,
which is,
definitely.
and a better life for them was breaking away from what they knew.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in a way, they broke away from their tradition.
Exactly.
If you're brought up knowing something, it becomes a part of you. We are from London. We grew up knowing Becky, Dave, Kwame,
Jermaine.
Listen, different cultures. So this is what we know. Fair enough. Tradition is tradition. We'll respect it or whatever. It'll be a part of us. But there's got to be a time, just like there was a time where there was a group of Nigerian people that said, "Well, Nigeria ain't for us. Let's go to London. We're gonna do the same thing. Not everyone from our culture is for us. Let's break it." That's my thing. I think it's double standards, because like, okay, cool, you can leave Nigeria, and then you're talking about keeping tradition and being with Nigeria. Go back to Nigeria then. The day someone turns around to me and says they're gonna marry a Nigerian girl, I'm gonna laugh at them. Do you know why? Nigerian people ain't the only people in the world. Yeah, that's my thing. Do you understand? So I just think it's down to how you're brought up. Some people have preference, but it's down to, again, the way you're brought up.
I agree with that as well.
Do you think we have preference because of the way we were brought up?
I think so.
Of course. It's all down to experience.
My choice.
But I get what you mean.
You're
marrying into mentality. You're marrying mindset. You're not marrying. You're not marrying everyone pounded yam. You're marrying the person's mindset and the way they think. So no matter what their background is,
this is it.
If it's important to you, if you don't
care,
That's exactly what it is about.
For me, it's about compatibility. This is it, man. This is it. So if you, if you're with someone from a different culture, and like, obviously
obviously your culture's different, but you can compromise on certain things, then cool. If you can't compromise, then you're not compatible. That's it.
That's it. That's what.
Shouldn't you be having these conversations before you even have children? Before you even get married?
Learn about each other.
But this, but I think, okay, you can say that, but in theory, but think about it, there's people that have been married for 10 years, you just find out something about them last week, and you thought you knew. No, you're like, as my mum said, my parents always tell me, you will not know things about somebody's personality or character until certain things happen. We can talk about it, we can talk about when we have children, I want them to have a Nigerian name.
But then one situation comes and then
it's not, think about it, it's not just, you're not marrying just the person, you're marrying their family and their culture. But then
we move into the household and we look at everything else. I believe obviously your parents have an influence, they have a say, your aunties, your uncles, your relatives have a say. But if your parents don't like me for an unreasonable reason, not that something doesn't make sense, just because I cut my hair and get a line hair, then you think I have no home training?
No.
Then from that point on, I respect your parents because they have the
There's a lot of similarities when it comes to women, right? So obviously having those similarities and experiencing those similarities, I find it easier to be with someone of my culture because all types of women give all types of there's different energies, there's different stresses, there's different positives, there's different negatives. And adding a different culture to it is even more confusing. So when you take away that different culture and you have something that you're more familiar with, it's less stressful, if that makes sense. So,
I agree.
But, okay, cool.
In terms of building a family.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
in terms of that dating.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
You can date anyone.
Yeah. Providing that it's like that.
I think it all depends on what your end game is. Like what you want out of it.
Yeah.
Because for some people, they learn, because here's a positive about multicultural dating. You learn so much about people being with other people. Somebody that may have been negative towards a certain culture and date somebody of another culture, gets brought into that culture. They become,
then they realise that
educated. And then we do have similarities. As much as we're different, we do have some, and that all comes from dating. But like what you're saying, if there's the end game, the end game is to be married, and you have a preference in that sense, it makes sense. But for the people, my problem is with people do in general rule out as if we live in a society where there's just one person and another person. I think it's stupid.
Like my family are very mixed. Like we have so many different cultures and races. I mean the main ground one is Ghana, obviously, and then it branches out. You've got Denmark and so many different countries. So from me being young, it was the norm. Like I would see that it would be normal. I would get to secondary school, it would be normal. It wasn't until I got to college where I would say I proper first started dating a white girl. That's when I realized, like, rah, people are looking at this a bit differently. And that was new to me. I was like, oh snap, okay, people are feeling a type of way because I'm a black guy, she's a white girl. But now I think it's cash. Like I don't think there's a problem. I think it is widely accepted. That's how I feel. Like me being like, my mum being Ghanaian, my dad being Zambian, two completely different cultures. So, and they've, like the way my mum thinks, this is going back to the questions before about why we might go back to our own culture. Because seeing my mum, like she was a single parent for a while, seeing my mum, the way she raised me, if I was to have a child, I would want my child to be raised the same way my mum raised me. So that's the reason why I think we would go back. But now,
the same values, you want to be raised with the same values you were.
Yeah, but it being widely accepted now, like multicultural, yeah, I think it's accepted.
In London?
I think it's accepted.
So what are the potential issues someone might face dating outside of their culture?
They don't understand the need for seasoning.
So stupid.
They're in their village, marry someone from the
What was it from the village?
What happened? At the end of the day, like
different colours. You like a couple of different colours, don't you?
Pack of Skittles, you know.